So you want to learn how to fly? That's a big decision, and an exciting one. Taking to the skies is a dream for many, and it's a dream that can absolutely become a reality with dedication and the right training. We're here to guide you through every step of the way, from the basics of flight to more advanced techniques. That's fantastic. We're thrilled to have you join the ranks of aviators. The world looks different from above, and we're excited for you to experience that unique perspective. But the sky isn't always calm. Sometimes, Mother Nature throws a curveball, and as pilots, we need to be ready to handle it. Sometimes the wind blows across the runway, what we call a crosswind. This can make takeoffs and landings a bit more challenging, but with the right techniques, it's perfectly manageable. Handling crosswinds is a crucial skill, one that every pilot needs to master to ensure safe and controlled flight operations. That separates fair-weather pilots from those ready for real-world flying. It's about being able to adapt to changing conditions and maintain control of the aircraft no matter what. A crosswind takeoff is more than a maneuver. It's a demonstration of your skill and preparedness. It's a test of your coordination and understanding of your airplane. You'll be using both your hands and feet in a coordinated dance to keep the aircraft aligned with the runway. When the wind comes from the side, it tries to lift the upwind wing and push your tail, turning you off the runway. This is called weather vaning, and it's a force you need to actively counteract. Your job? Use your controls to keep the airplane on track no matter what the wind wants. It's a battle of wills, but with the right technique, you'll always come out on top. Think of it like walking down a hallway while someone pushes you sideways. You have to lean into it to stay straight. The stronger the push, the more you have to lean. In an airplane, your controls are how you lean against the wind. Ailerons and rudder become your best friends in this situation. We'll break down each step, what to do with your hands and feet, explaining the precise control inputs needed to counteract the crosswind forces. How to manage the takeoff, from the initial roll to the moment you lift off the ground and into the sky, and how to stay safe. We'll cover techniques like the crab and side slip methods, ensuring you have a comprehensive understanding. This isn't just about passing a test, it's about keeping everyone safe. Your passengers, your crew, and yourself all depend on your ability to handle these situations effectively. Runways don't move, but the wind does. It's a dynamic environment, and you need to be prepared for anything. Sooner or later, you'll face a crosswind. It's an inevitable part of flying, and it's best to be prepared rather than surprised. Being prepared is your responsibility as a pilot. It's about continuous learning, practicing your skills, and always being ready for the unexpected. Let's build your confidence, one step at a time. With the right knowledge and practice, you'll be able to handle crosswinds like a pro. Before adding power, your crosswind takeoff begins with aileron correction. Check the windsock or listen to the tower to know the wind's direction. If the wind's from your left, turn your yoke left, putting your upwind wing down. Apply full aileron into the wind as you start your takeoff roll. This prevents the upwind wing from lifting too soon. As you accelerate, the controls become more effective, so you can gradually reduce aileron input. Always apply just enough pressure to keep the wings level. It's a balancing act. Big input at low speed, easing off as you gain speed. Feel what the airplane is doing and respond. Don't just follow a checklist. The wind pushes, you push back, maintaining equilibrium until it's time to fly. That's your foundation for a safe crosswind takeoff. With ailerons set and lined up, you're ready to begin your takeoff roll. Proper aileron setting is crucial for maintaining control, especially in windy conditions. Think of it as presetting your course against the forces of nature. Now smoothly apply full power. Gradual and controlled application of power is essential. Avoid abrupt movements that could destabilize the aircraft, particularly during the initial phase of acceleration. As you accelerate down the runway, the weather vane effect kicks in, becoming increasingly noticeable. This aerodynamic phenomenon is a key factor in crosswind takeoffs, and understanding it is paramount. The wind pushes against your tail, trying to turn the nose of the aircraft directly into the wind. This force can be significant, especially with a strong crosswind component. Anticipating and counteracting this effect is vital for maintaining directional control. To maintain your course, use your rudder pedals to keep the nose straight down the runway center line. Precise and timely rudder inputs are your primary tool for combating the weather vane effect and ensuring a straight takeoff roll. If the wind is coming from the left, apply right rudder pressure to counteract the yaw, preventing the aircraft from veering off course. The amount of rudder needed will depend on the wind's strength and the aircraft's speed. This isn't a one-time input. It's not a set it and forget it situation. Crosswind correction requires constant attention and adjustment. It's a constant dance of small adjustments, a delicate balancing act between the forces of the wind and the aircraft's momentum. Think of it as feeling the aircraft's response and reacting accordingly. As your airspeed increases, the rudder becomes more and more effective in controlling the aircraft's direction. This is because the airflow over the rudder surface is stronger, providing greater control authority. Consequently, you'll need less rudder pressure to maintain your heading as you accelerate. Gradually reduce your input to avoid over-controlling the aircraft. Remember, aileron input also creates a slight turning force known as adverse yaw, so your feet must compensate for this as well. This interconnectedness of controls is what makes flying a coordinated effort. Your primary goal is to keep the wings level using ailerons, counteracting any tendency to roll due to the crosswind. Simultaneously, you must keep the nose straight down the runway centerline with precise rudder inputs. It's a multitasking challenge that demands focus and coordination. It's like rubbing your tummy and patting your head at the same time, a seemingly simple task that requires concentration and practice. But with consistent practice, this coordinated control becomes second nature, an intuitive response to the forces acting on the aircraft. To help maintain stability and reduce over-controlling, look far down the runway, focusing on a point in the distance. This will give you a better sense of your overall trajectory and allow for smoother, smaller corrections. Your hands primarily manage roll, keeping the wings level against the crosswind, while your feet primarily manage yaw, keeping the nose aligned with the runway. Ultimately, coordination is the key to a successful crosswind takeoff. It's about working in harmony with the aircraft and the environment. Maintain focus on the task at hand and remember to stay light on the rudder pedals, avoiding any abrupt or excessive inputs. Mastering these techniques is the art of directional control in a crosswind, a skill that separates proficient pilots from the rest. It's a testament to understanding the forces at play and responding with precision and finesse. The weather vane effect is why crosswind takeoffs demand active rudder use. The wind pushes against your airplane's tail, trying to pivot the nose into the wind. Without rudder, you'd veer off the runway. Pressing the rudder pedal deflects the rudder, creating a force that counters the wind's push. During a left crosswind, right rudder keeps you straight. The amount of rudder needed changes as you accelerate. Adjust constantly. Rudder is king on the ground. It dictates your direction. Don't try to steer with ailerons on the ground. Use your feet. Master the rudder, and you'll master the crosswind ground roll. Remember, on the ground, feet steer the airplane. As you reach rotation speed, it's time for a positive, deliberate liftoff. Apply firm, smooth back pressure to raise the nose. Don't yank, but don't hesitate. A crisp rotation gets you flying decisively, with effective controls. At liftoff, maintain your crosswind inputs. Ailerons into the wind, rudder to keep the nose straight. The airplane will want to roll and yaw as you leave the ground. Your controls prevent this. Don't relax your inputs as the airplane feels light. The crosswind is still there. Continue flying the airplane actively through rotation and into the initial climb. Keep the wings level and the nose tracking straight along the runway centerline. This is where your coordination pays off. Stay focused. This is a critical moment. A positive, controlled liftoff sets you up for a safe climb. One danger in a crosswind takeoff is the skip, or sideways hop. This happens if you lift off too soon or with poor control, causing the airplane to touch back down while drifting. The landing gear isn't built for side loads. This can lead to loss of control or damage. The main cause? Letting the airplane drift sideways before it's ready to fly, often from relaxing rudder pressure. Always keep the nose aligned with the runway using the rudder. Don't rotate before reaching proper airspeed. Be patient. Rotate crisply at the right speed with enough control to stay airborne. If you feel the airplane settling back, add forward pressure. Stay on the runway and regain speed. Don't yank back. Maintain crosswind corrections throughout. Precision and patience prevent the sideways hop. You're airborne and climbing, but the crosswind challenge isn't over. On the ground, you used ailerons and rudder to keep straight. Now, transition to coordinated flight. Level your wings and relax rudder pressure as you climb. The nose will naturally turn into the wind. This is the crab angle. Point the nose into the wind to counteract drift, just like a boat crossing a river. The amount of crab depends on wind strength. Make this transition smoothly and keep the ball centered for coordinated flight. Maintain the crab angle as you climb, adjusting as needed. This keeps your ground track aligned with the runway. You've conquered the crosswind takeoff. Now fly safely on course. A crosswind takeoff is a sequence of coordinated inputs, not a single action. You're constantly balancing forces: ailerons for roll, rudder for yaw, and airspeed for lift. Coordination is the key. Your hands and feet must work together. During the ground roll, hold aileron into the wind and apply opposite rudder. This cross-controlling feels odd at first, but it's essential. Anticipate changes, reduce aileron as you gain speed, adjust rudder as needed, and be ready for a crisp rotation. Good pilots are proactive, not just reactive. Coordination extends to your eyes. Look far down the runway, check your airspeed, and watch the windsock. Process all this information and translate it into smooth, accurate control. It's a mental and physical workout. With practice, it becomes second nature. Coordination is the secret to mastering crosswind takeoffs. When you get it right, it's incredibly rewarding. There's no magic trick, no secret formula, to mastering crosswind takeoffs. It's not about luck or innate talent. It's about consistent effort and dedicated learning. Diligent practice is the only reliable way to truly internalize the necessary skills and develop the muscle memory required for safe and effective crosswind operations. Start by learning the theory, understanding the aerodynamic principles at play, but remember that real, lasting skill comes from focused, deliberate practice in the aircraft. And this practice should always be conducted with a qualified instructor who can provide guidance and feedback. Your instructor will be instrumental in helping you develop the crucial feel for the airplane's response to the wind. They'll teach you to anticipate and react appropriately. You'll learn to interpret the subtle cues from the wind, understanding its direction and intensity. Don't shy away from light crosswinds. Actively seek them out and use them as valuable training opportunities to hone your skills in a controlled environment. Start with gentle winds, where the effects are more manageable, and gradually work your way up to more challenging conditions as your confidence and proficiency grow. Notice how different airplanes, with their unique aerodynamic characteristics, handle crosswinds in their own way. Each flight, each landing, each takeoff, regardless of the conditions, adds valuable experience to your skill set and builds your overall competence. Always remember the key steps involved in a crosswind takeoff: aileron input into the wind to counteract the upwind lift, active rudder to maintain directional control and prevent weather vaning, a crisp and decisive rotation to get the aircraft airborne, and consistently maintain corrections throughout the initial climb before smoothly transitioning to a crab angle to compensate for wind drift. Execute these steps consistently and methodically every single time, and you'll develop the skills and confidence to become a safer, more proficient, and more confident pilot in all wind conditions. However, never get complacent or overconfident. The wind is a dynamic force, and it can always surprise you with unexpected shifts in direction or intensity. Always treat every crosswind takeoff with the utmost respect and attention to detail. Take a moment to mentally rehearse the necessary steps and control inputs before commencing every takeoff roll. Remember, practice doesn't necessarily make perfect, but consistent, focused, and deliberate practice makes permanent. It ingrains the correct responses into your muscle memory. With these skills honed through diligent practice, you'll be well prepared to handle whatever the wind may bring your way, ensuring safer and more enjoyable flights.